Oh, man. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Harmontown is now in session. Let's hear it. Come on. Welcome to the back of Meltdown Comics. Let's bring out Spencer. Spencer right here. I forgot to introduce myself. I'm Rob Schrab. I will be comptrolling in the place of Jeff Davis, who could not be here tonight. How y'all feeling tonight? Everybody feeling good? All right, let's bring out the mayor of Harmontown, Mr. Dan Harmon. Sit down.
Yay. It's 8:12.
Woo! I don't know. Now explain that. What happened?
When you were in the bathroom at El Compadre, Rob shot me a mischievous look. I said, "Now, Rob, that's not a normal man's look. You've got something cooking up right in your mind right now." And what'd you say, Rob? Well, basically, just he suggested that we do what you just saw happen.
Like, what did you? You tweeted them or what?
I didn't tweet shit, man. I've been on Twitter since Bill Paxton died.
Aww.
We lost Bill Paxton.
I'm really bummed out about that. Who's really bummed out about that?
Game over, man.
Some people make fun of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sad about it.
Saying game over, man, is definitely trivializing a human being's death.
Yeah.
I would say. I got a lot of misguided people when Harold Ramis died. You know, like, oh, he's seeing Venkman on the other side now. It's like, don't do the thing where you, like, you know, relate their death to their product. Like,
no,
I don't think not when you're genuinely trying to eulogize. You know, do it in the privacy of your own bedroom.
When did you find out?
I don't know. This morning, I guess.
See, I mean, like, it just hit me. It
yeah.
just hit me. It was like so. He's like one of those guys that you think is going to be around forever, and he's just gone. You know, it's like Miguel Ferrer died earlier this year. You know, it's
and we also recently lost Milo Yiannopoulos. You don't know when it's going to happen. All of a sudden, just somebody will be complicated in surgery. Somebody will dig up a year-old interview where you sound a little bit like you're all right with pedophilia, and then you're just gone.
I want to really just congratulate Simon and Schuster. They really went out on a limb there to cancel a book deal after rediscovering someone's highly publicized remarks on pedophilia.
Yeah.
I think the second time it became publicized, it was really just the right thing to do at the time.
Oh, wait, now that's going to be unprofitable pedophilia endorsement? No. All right, well,
we
Mr.
thought it was
Simon,
one of those
Mr.
one
Schuster?
It's too bad because he's such a nice, likable person.
Right.
It's like.
Well, as he would always explain,
forever.
he was just being funny. He was just very funny. He was just a very funny person. He would always
true.
say, you know.
Yeah.
I think the funniest thing about him was how he would continually talk over anyone whose show he was on. He had no basic improv training. He would not give and take. He would just like no matter what show he was on, you would just be hearing him talking over anyone that was always talking. Not a funny person and not a talented person, just a tragic attention whore, and that's fine. The thing is, I find the irony to be as soon as Breitbart, lost him, whether he quit or got fired, it was like. And then I watched the Joe Rogan thing where he was like talking about getting fucked by his priest or whatever, and it was like. I think the interesting thing about the left versus the right is that the left would like to hear about your bullshit like after we know it's related to human trauma, and the right would like to hear about it right up until that time.
$5 gets you the video subscription to Harmontown. See what Rob Schrab is doing.
All right. Well, I'm not gonna try to do a regular show tonight.
Come on! It's the Oscars.
It's the Oscars.
Thank you for not going to the Oscars.
The Oscars are on right now.
They're on. The Oscars are.
Who's won?
La La Land.
Who's two?
Suicide Squad.
La La Land can suck my dick.
Damn.
And it can too.
I saw.
What is this concoction? Somebody.
That's Fernet Branca. That's what Jeff usually drinks.
Wow. I feel like Reanimator, man.
I thought my thoughts on Milo were very cogent and timely, and now they're lost to the ages.
How you doing, Dan? I haven't seen you in a while.
We discovered some new planets, Rob.
Okay. Have they been named yet?
No.
How many planets?
I don't know.
Let's name them.
I don't know. I don't know anything that you don't know. I know NASA like said on Monday, they said we got some shit coming out. And then on Wednesday they were like, here's the thing. There's like some things, and there's a. So I was getting it third hand. There was like correct me if I'm wrong. There was a solar system that has multiple Earth-like planets.
There's like 7 new Earth-like exoplanets or something.
That's it?
Revolving around a single star solar system.
Only
like
one
that.
star?
So imagine like if
How many moons?
Imagine if these planets are like actually like so you've got to figure like before we could ever before we had gasoline, before we had electricity, we had telescopes, we could see what was going on the moon. So if these planets are, let's say they all have sentient life evolving on them.
Sure.
Like we would be making first contact with people, most importantly, even if they weren't technologically more advanced than us, they would already be, if they had telescopic contact with each other, they would already be like the New York to our Wyoming. They would be, because they would have grown up, like in the year 1400, they would have known there were fish people on the planet, like a couple of
What if the fish people
over.
were like 100 years behind us?
Or ahead of them, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Well,
like we will be making contact with a solar system that will be like, why are you people so racist? Because, when we were getting to that point, we could see fish people waving at us, and we could also see them beating up snake people next to them, and we were like monkey people next to giraffe people, going like, "Stop doing that," and they were like, "You're right. You should stop doing that too. You're right." And then we're gonna be like, we're gonna be so intimidated by them that we're gonna be like,
Not me.
I think. I don't know. I just think it could be an ironic development where they're like we're like totally technologically the same, but they're kind of snobby, like they're more cosmopolitan, and then we end up going like they're looking down on us and going like, "You're still racist," and we'll be like, "Yeah, that's right. I hate this Mexican guy, and he hates me because we're from Earth." I'm glad you let me get through the thought. All right, our guests tonight have a feral audio podcast called Dumb People Town. Let's bring out the Sklar brothers.
Thank you. Woo! Oh my God! Hey, Rob, did you get that tiny bottle of table wine we sent over to you?
I did.
Oh, good. Great.
Somebody ate the tiny loaf of bread that came with it.
Well, chef's choice. Okay.
So let's get through the twin stuff for a second.
I thought we were going to talk about
Cover
Bill.
it finally.
Finally, let's crack that. I actually want to talk just briefly about the planet stuff, because I always felt like Pluto got the rawest deal of all.
Dude.
It's like a planet for we think we have job security problems. Like he had that shit was locked down for so long. That was diorama lockdown. That was diorama lockdown to
Science fair
to
project
then just
lockdown.
be like, yep, you're not a planet anymore. To me, feels like the rawest deal ever. Like,
So now
what
what
do you
is
do?
it? It's like my very elegant mother just served us 9.
Dwarf planets.
My very elegant mother just served us nothing. That's what it winds up being. That's what it wants. If you're Pluto,
I thought I saw some little sniglet about maybe Pluto now it was a planet, then it wasn't a planet, and now it might be. Now
It was dwarf planet for a while. Then it was on Game of Thrones. And then now...
wait, is Rich Hall still doing snicklets?
I sniglet. I co-opted the word sniglet to mean a little thing.
A snippet?
I don't know. An unresearched thought that entered my head. I thought I saw some little like subhead that was almost related to the NASA conference. They were saying, they found like all these little exoplanets.
Yeah.
But then there was also something attached to that, a rider that was like also Pluto might be a planet.
P.S.
Am I imagining that?
By us, yeah, Pluto. But I know. Remember how all those people said Pluto wasn't a planet? It is actually now a planet.
It is again.
No,
No,
but how
I
great would
don't
that
know.
be if that was just
All right.
an attachment on the little
P.S.
thing?
All right, we want to talk about twins?
Yeah, let's get into it. Let's fucking get into it.
Bill
Is it-
Paxton.
is it
Let's talk
just
about
the-
Bill Paxton.
Is it the
just for a minute.
size or is it the distance from the sun? What is the issue?
For twins? I think
I
it's...
don't know what it.
How do you
By the
get
way-
your power?
we have to
asked
stay
about-
equidistant from the sun or one of us dies.
At all. It's a very difficult thing to manage when we're not together. No.
No,
I actually found out about Bill Paxton last week.
what?
Yeah, my phone's got crazy
Alerts. Yeah,
it was unbelievable.
that's cool.
And
No,
I just seen the movie Arrival, so I can actually see into the future now. So that's good.
Ah, see, you're trivializing a human being's death.
Hey, I just know I'm never getting LASIK surgery. That's one thing I'll never do. Because he died of complications from
No, really? That's
from
what it is?
LASIK surgery. No,
LASIK?
I made that up. I totally made that up.
Wow.
I thought it was because your glasses are the only way we could tell you from your brother.
Yeah, but really, I have no heart and no soul.
I was thinking I might watch A Simple Plan tonight. You guys like A Simple Plan?
So
loved-
good,
holy
so fucking
shit.
good.
Particularly liked Bill Paxton in that movie. I don't know if I would have liked it if
He was great, and then Billy Bob Thornton, just nobody. He's got the most powerful, like, quiet voice in all of movies. He says it so quietly.
You ever
and
see
you're like,
One False Move with Bill Paxton and
No,
Billy Bob?
No, I have not.
Really good. Really, really good.
it's the simple plan of movies.
No,
trying
but
to
it's
do my Billy Bob Thornton impression.
It's good.
Working hard.
I like mashed potatoes.
What else do you like, Billy Bob? I'm gonna just start showing
Yeah.
you objects.
I like
Do you like tiny wine?
tobogganing.
Okay, what
That goes
about
well
this?
with mashed potatoes. What else?
I don't like being questioned by Canadian interviewers about my band.
What is he looking at? I don't know what Billy Bob is looking at.
I'm focusing.
Just down on the floor.
I have to focus all of my energy into my impersonation lobe.
I love it.
I'm not gonna do a fucking awesome
No.
Billy Bob and then also be like, who wants pizza?
No,
That's right, or
you
make
can-
eye contact.
Or make eye contact. Yeah, at the very least.
I like mashed potatoes and gravy.
Like,
see,
he-
it doesn't work.
No, you went from zero eye contact to the creepiest I will never look away from you eye contact.
He looked through Jason to me. Like, that's how.
Would you ask Tom Petty about his influences? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you
I
see?
would.
You've seen that Canadian that clip, right? On
Yes,
YouTube. Yeah,
yes.
Fucking amazing. That's my favorite part. Would you ask Tom Petty about his influences?
Yeah.
Pause. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. It's one of the first things
Don't
I'd
you want
ask.
to know? Yeah.
I-
Who you influence? That's the first thing they cover in the Bogdanovich thing. Yeah, it was huge influence
It's a
by Elvis.
sidebar item on Wikipedia for all musicians.
Right.
If you Wikipedia Prince, it says what his influences,
Influences are.
Ah, Billy
What
Bob.
are Prince's influences?
Billy Bob, what
Billy
are
Bob,
they?
what
Billy
are
Bob
they?
Thornton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billy Bob, what are Prince's?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Prince's
I'm sorry, I just.
Prince's influences are.
Oh God.
I'm trying to hold it.
Captain EO,
For sure.
That's
for
a good
sure.
one.
David Bowie.
I feel that. Feel it.
It's a good. You
And-
started with Captain EO and then went to David Bowie.
In that
in the order of most influential. Captain EO.
David Bowie.
Yeah, David Bowie. Not a close second, but definitely a second.
The Muppets. James Brown.
All right.
All right, twin stuff.
So,
Sorry, we made you jump
That
off the twins.
Twisters
Oh, twin
commercial.
stuff. All right. Well, all right. So
wanna know?
what? So what do you guys do? You have private time? Do you go like at the end of the day? Like, do you go? Okay, after tonight, do you go home? You don't
Do you
go
live
home
in
to-
the same house?
Yeah.
Like if one
Both
of
your
you
wives-
stubs
We just-
their toe, do you the other
No,
feel it?
we-
Now come on! Somebody stub this guy's
Hang
toe.
on a second. That is an extraordinarily fair question.
That is a
Yeah.
super valid question, and I don't want to stomp on the validity of that
Thank you.
question.
I don't want to
Thank
stub my toe on the validity of that question.
I don't stub my nose in the face of that question.
Good.
No, although
Quite simply,
that is
abso-
bullshit.
It's such horseshit.
Although I will say this, recently we were about to go do some shows on the road, and when we have a really early morning flight, we'll call each other in the car as we're driving. We don't live in the same house.
It's like we both have two families. We live on the only kibbutz in LA.
Yeah.
It's a communal living site.
So we're driving. I will call him always, or he'll call me just to make sure that the other one woke up and is coming to the gig. And so he called me, and I couldn't take the call because I had stopped because I had to pee so badly, like uncharacteristically so badly. I had already peed in the morning. I had stopped at a 7-Eleven, which someone told me, dummy, they don't have bathrooms at 7-Eleven. I didn't know that. I went in and got into a fight while I had to pee with the guy. I was like, you have to pee somewhere. Like, I don't know why I got into it with him at that point. Then I was like, fuck it. I'm going to walk outside. It was on Olympic in La Cienega. I went around to somebody's house and on an apartment building and peed on the side of an apartment building because I had no hope. I had no chance. I ran back into my car. I called Randy back, and I was like, I'm so sorry. I saw you were calling. I didn't want you to freak out that I wasn't up for the thing, but I had to pee so badly that I just peed on the side of a building, and you said,
I just peed on the side of a building.
Is that true?
now that is true, and that
On
is
the
so fucked up.
That is the most twin thing that's ever happened is that we both drank too much coffee before going to LAX.
And that was creepy.
That almost made us want to stop doing comedy. That moment right there.
But if we looked at your text messages, like are you guys just nonstop checking in with each other? I just wonder. Like, I just
No,
brought you
that's
out as the Sklar brothers.
Right.
Like I didn't call you Randy and whatever the other one's name
Yeah,
is.
That's what I do.
I
Jesus
You've been
Christ.
hanging out with us.
like you've been called brothers.
That's right.
You've been booked as the brothers. You're
Yeah,
in Burger
yeah.
King commercials as
Yeah,
the Sklar
yeah,
brothers. You're
as the
brothers.
brothers.
You're so like what? But there's obviously there can't be any because you were born that way. Literally, there is no buildup of resentment or craving for individuality, right?
Unless we find out right now.
Jason is not a planet.
Yeah,
I'll just
no,
say that.
I've been demoted.
That's where we
Apparently, I
find
don't
out.
have a fucking name. Thank you, Billy Bob. No. Well, we have family. Like, we have separate families and separate lives. And so, like, I think the fact that we, even up until that point, but the fact that we now have kids and wives, and we have multiple wives. Bill Paxton,
May
R.I.P.
he rest in peace.
You guys each have one wife, and then you have a third wife that you
That we
you
share,
Deadbringer,
yeah.
Cronenberg, like you
Yeah.
you
We
swap
each,
off.
the relief wife. She
We
comes
each
in
have
for the
second
last.
families, but it's the same family. And they don't know
No,
about
yeah,
it.
I know.
So they think it's just the same person coming in.
That's the third wife. Is she just lives in an apartment with what she thinks is a guy named
Right.
Elijah Sklar,
Right.
Who just comes in.
a man who's not a twin.
Sometimes he has glasses, sometimes he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just super attentive. He's around a lot for her.
But the catch is, one of you falls in love with her.
I was going to say Thursdays on CBS, but
It's called Hidden Figure.
All right. Well,
so
okay.
yeah, so we do have our own lives, and what's crazy is that since we've had our own families and kids and stuff, When we get together and we hang out with you, can I say this? Is this all right?
Yeah, sure.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
When we hang out, thanks, Spencer.
Yeah.
We hang out. It's fun. We actually look forward to it because I feel like we enjoy it more now than ever before.
Well,
because
speak for yourself.
no.
Is there a tone you guys have? Like if you're by yourselves, the two of you, and then everybody else is gone. Does it ever get dark? Like
yes.
where you just
yes.
like you share with each other this kind of like you're like, ugh, that one, like or something, or like
no,
that you guys are only on each other's sides and there's like some fucking like weird energy between you where you're like,
Yes.
I don't think it's a weird energy.
I was going to say yes.
Sorry.
Yeah. No,
Maybe
but
we're misinterpreting the energy between us. I
maybe.
think it's very normal. You think it's weird? Oh, that's strange.
Who the fuck are you?
I don't know. This is Dan. Fuck. No, I think it is. I can describe it like this. I do think it goes beyond the normal sibling relationship. It goes beyond the normal friend relationship. Like we're past the point where you share things with each other. This is going to sound so bizarre. We are past the point where you share things with each other, and I think because we're twins in some weird way, we allow ourselves to be as hard on the other person as you would be on yourself. So as negative as you would be about yourself, and that to me is an intimacy to like rip on someone who isn't you the way you would basically rip on yourself is so intimate.
But also, I would
it's what
imagine
every
that
marriage should be.
The upside of that is that you can confide in them in a way
Totally.
that you wouldn't. Like if I had a twin brother, and then I found out, like I was like, wait, redhead cheerleaders. I'd call my brother and go, I think it's redhead cheerleaders.
Right.
I think the combination has something to do with athletic socks, and he'd be like, wait, oh yeah,
Me too.
like that you'd, I don't know anything like that, where you'd be like, you'd call him up and go like, wait, do you hate beans?
So that's our journey. I think what you're just describing right there is to get to actually we're so close to each other. We're actually stepped on the other side of each other, facing away from each other. So the key is now over the course of our lives. It's the beginning of a duel. It's literally like it's like, not to get all Hamilton about it, but
the second movie poster from your trilogy.
that's right. It's just that's called
the
third
third
one
is you're
the
facing
turn.
each other again.
Yeah,
but you,
gunpoint.
In between us is a redheaded cheerleader. So socks up.
It's Julianne Moore.
It's
just
Julianne Moore.
It's the dark version of Fabulous Baker Boys.
Right. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So now our thing in life is, I think, to peel it back and actually have the type of relationship that a close siblings would have. That is our work that we have to do.
In other words, kind of examining yourselves for your individuality a little bit, right?
Totally.
Experimenting with you know what? Like actually withholding from each other?
Totally,
Or putting up
so that
little
there is-
boundaries?
Yes, or taking time apart from each other. So when we're not working, we're not doing that stuff. We do spend time with our different friends and family, friends and whatnot. So then when we do come back together, we are actually happy.
I have to wonder
see
if this
each other.
biologically, psychologically mirrors the stage in a normal individual's life when they would be going through some threshold. That's something that I've never heard about in twin studies. We're always so obsessed with what's the difference between nature and nurture? Let's study these twins.
Right.
But that idea that twins have that unfettered intimacy and that you guys are experiencing this weird crisscross right now. I wonder if that coincides with the age at which a
person goes through a
person
midlife
would be
crisis
like,
or-
wait, who am I?
Right.
Yeah.
Just in general.
I think so for sure.
But I think we experience that more because
Mid-twin crisis.
mid-twin crisis. But I think it's also because we're comedians. We are constantly examining our relationship and who we are and what we're about and what's wrong with us and all that stuff. So
we only participated in one twin study ever. We grew up in St. Louis, Washington University, and I don't want to say we fucked this thing up, but
I had to go into a room and
this is no joke. This actually happened. People were studying this.
I had to stare. There was it was just a little machine that would just light up with a red light when in another room Randy was looking at a picture.
And I'm just looking
Across
at
the hall.
looking at a picture, and I, for no reason, Rob, just rubbed my temples.
As if to send it to me.
As if to fucking send it through the ether to him, because I was like, that's what you're supposed to do.
And I just had to, when the light came on, draw what popped into my head to see if he could send it across a hallway at Wash U. And Not only did I not draw even a remotely close shape to anything he was looking at, it was so bad. Like they shut down the experiment. They lost funding. They lost their grant and their funding because of our results.
What did you draw?
I drew. I remember he was looking at a tree, like a very tall tree, and I drew a star. Nothing like a tree, rounded edges and all that stuff. You were looking at a cow, and I drew a car. You were looking at what? Can you remember what the other ones were?
I can't.
You were. I think.
Why don't you get in my head and find out?
Okay. Let me rub them. But I can't remember. We were so off. It was so off that they couldn't even.
It proved to us that we're like that. I don't believe in that shit. I really don't. I feel
But being a comedian, weren't you tempted to just keep drawing dicks?
Every car.
He keeps thinking about this.
I don't know. I was only 13.
My brother.
The car had a dick coming out of its mouth.
Really hairy.
Yeah, it's just.
Not
I'm
me,
sorry.
my brother
Everything.
keeps thinking about dicks. I know he's looking at a cow, but
Cow had 2 dicks, just fucking doing it.
Let's bring up Brandon Johnson because he's back
Sure.
there.
Love
languishing.
him. Woo! Brandon.
Hi, Brandon.
What is this shit about Pluto, man?
Yeah, right?
I just heard back there all that talk about it. I don't know what's going on. Is it a planet? Is it not a planet? Riveting.
Yeah. Riveting.
I could see Steve Harvey starting like a stand-up act, just like, what is this
Hey,
shit
player.
about Pluto?
Now, you a woman, right?
Pluto, you a planet, right?
You a planet.
Speaking of comedy and comedians,
hello.
I just drew a dick in my mind, Rob. Just
I was at this function and Martin Short was being given an award, and he just fucking murdered. Were you guys Martin Short fans?
huge.
And then when he did Jiminy Glick, I was like, that is the most electric character.
Martin Short was my guy. When I was in 6th grade, it was like that was I think like a lot of us we start just by imitating people. Mm-hmm. Like I would just do Ed Grimley and
You started SCTV.
Let's see that.
Yeah.
I'm mental, I must say.
Why
Awesome.
Why is Billy Bob Thornton doing
mental?
Ed Grimley?
Why, Billy Bob Thornton? Why are you so mental, Billy Bob?
I want mashed potatoes, I must say.
Wow.
I must say.
Wow, you must say you
I'm
went.
completely mental.
Oh my god, that's fucking.
Why are you holding a triangle suddenly?
If you do this mouth, you could do John Lithgow.
Oh my god.
Brandon, who are your childhood comedy people?
I love the Broadway Whoopi was one of the first things I ever saw. The young comedian special Robin Williams is one of the first things that I ever saw. I had to we had an old ass TV and we got HBO and we had dials on the shit. So I had to back in the day if you got cable, you had to hook it up and you'd have to dial for maybe a half an hour, just turn a dial until the cable hooked up with a raw signal. I fucking remember it. 3 o'clock in the morning, dial, and then Whoopi Goldberg Around the World in 88 Days. And I was like, what the fuck?
So you like the character pieces, like the one-woman show kind of I'm going to do 20 minutes as this person. And I mean, that's what you were like.
I mean, it's just my earliest memory of somebody who inspired me. But I didn't think I wasn't one-woman show type. That's why I was in shock. I was like, this is a one-woman show, but it's funny. Wasn't you molested when you were a kid or something?
That's always how you can tell if someone's giving a compliment or they hate something.
How high their voice goes.
Ask me how her one-woman show was.
How was her one-woman show?
Hated it.
Okay, now ask me how her one-woman show was.
How was her one-woman show?
It was good.
It was,
that means it was
loved
really good.
Holy shit.
Wow,
A lot of
okay.
characters.
So you loved it.
A lot of characters,
Wait a
Brandon.
minute. Wait a minute.
Right, it's
That means all of my one-woman shows have been terrible.
No, they were good. They were really good. They were great.
Oh, really?
They're great.
You're pretty good.
Oh, wait, okay. We're all great. Wait a minute.
This is a little unrelated, but Schrab revealed to me at dinner tonight that he's going
To us.
To us.
I was there.
Thanks, Spence.
You were sitting at the next table, though, facing the wall.
Why did they make you
It's
do
because
that?
you didn't order anything.
Right, yeah.
I forgot. You gotta eat a chimichanga. You want a present at my table. Schrab revealed to us that he is going to a vocal coach.
Yes.
Because he wants his voice lower.
Wow.
That's not completely it. But
Let me ask you.
Now,
How's
okay,
that?
All right, okay.
Remember your training,
How is that working
Rob.
out for you?
It's good.
Yes.
It's going great.
yeah, how is your vocal coach?
I just started.
I hope it's going better.
I just started, so you're
But
not gonna hear anything.
Obviously, my knee-jerk reflex was, maybe this is a little disrespectful to Schrab, like because we have a tendency to, if somebody were to say to us, like, oh, I'm going to do this, if somebody you respect and you like we have a knee-jerk reaction that comes from the best of intentions, which is we kind of we want to argue with them. Like, no, you shouldn't do that. You're fine the way you
change.
Right.
But I do. But I've inspected it from that angle, and I'm still like, what the fuck is he talking? I just wanted to bring it up because I just I don't. You were saying, Rob, that the guy was saying when you went in for your consultation,
Yes.
that he said you're holding your breath more than you should, or something.
Well,
like that?
I mean, like right now, I'm comfortable and everything, but when I'm, on set and I'm, in a pitch meeting, if when I'm having a bad time, I tend to talk fast and not breathe, and my register goes up, and it's just learning how to breathe and talk and think and just organize your thoughts and stuff. It's just something that I'm doing to improve myself.
I'm so sorry we made fun of it.
So how low do you want to talk?
Lou Rawls?
Really low. I mean, lower than this.
Like hip, like.
Hibbert? Hip what?
Like Hibbert.
Hibbert?
Hibbert.
Yeah, the doctor on The Simpsons.
Oh.
Sure. Do
I
people
thought
like
a room
him?
full of these people would know that shit. Y'all about to lose y'all Simpsons card.
Would you want to talk this low?
I don't know.
I like Ed 209 register. I think.
Hey, how was her one-woman show?
It was all right. Even that guy.
It was okay.
You didn't really find anything you liked in it?
Well, there was this one part.
He must have loved
It
that
was
part.
actually kind of a mind blow. Martin Short came out.
Yeah, Martin Short came out. Okay.
Martin Short was good.
He was good.
Yeah.
And then, he introduced
Chevy Chase.
Chevy Chase.
That's good. That's good.
But this is what I'm talking about. When you're talking like this, which is my comfortable register, which to some people is grating. I just I'm just trying to fix this fucking problem, which is my
I
life.
think a lot of people like your voice.
I think I like it. It's what makes you
A lot of people
distinctly you.
don't.
Well, Rob, but when I first met you, Rob, when your origin story is your hairpiece story, when Rob lost his hair at a very young age,
19.
At a time before Pulp Fiction, before it was even possible to be masculine and bald, in cinema, before Bruce Willis,
Impossible.
I was going to say Ving Rhames from that movie. Jesus.
Well, before Jean, the new Captain Goddamn Picard, there weren't bald men where whatever the hair loss was different as you go up through the ages. I'm not saying it's equivalent to
It's
anything
pretty
else.
much
That's
the
a struggle,
same.
But you told this story of you had a girlfriend that was she made it obvious that
She
maybe
said,
if you had hair,
maybe you do need a hairpiece.
and then you went to the Lions Club.
The Lions Club, yes.
And you went and you had them outfit you with a fucking head of hair.
Some real hair, somebody's hair was woven into
Was it
a
baby
wig,
hair?
and And I was like, oh man, this is it. I'm gonna be fucking sexy again. Anyway. And it looked like exactly how you're picturing it. I'm just like,
like a hair hat,
like a bowl cut round
hair
That's what
hat.
I'm thinking. Like,
and I walked home wearing it, just like walking down the street, crossing the street, and wearing it, and then looked myself in the mirror, and I said, "Oh shit, I can't do this." And I put it in a shoebox, and then I walked back to the Lions Club, and I said, I can't do this. I'm sorry. And I gave it back to them, and I left. And then I shaved my head, and I never had a problem with it ever again.
Yeah, so, you know.
That was age 19, everybody.
And that woman is now your vocal coach?
Yes.
I mean,
full circle, guys.
Don't you make the equation there with your voice? I mean, who cares what your voice? I mean, like you know.
I like me. I like my voice. I'm. It's all about like when I don't like me and when I don't like my voice. It's. I'm trying to get over that, part. It's not right now.
Right. I mean, I'm not trying to high road you, but isn't it easier to just to change the way that you feel about yourself than change your voice?
Yes, exactly, and I think this is a part of it.
Well, when you
this show right here.
No. Well, the training is like like I said to you when I explained while I was doing
in
this.
confidence.
Yes. When I said like, look, if it's a placebo, in the past when I've done the homework and then I've gone into like a meeting where I need to be everything I need to be and everything I know that I need to do and can do, I can do it. But, when that's what it's all about.
Lots of things I don't like about myself. What do you
like
guys...
what?
Get into it, Billy
Top
Bob.
5 teen. 5 teen. Top 5 teen things
Top
you don't
15.
like about yourself. Let me start.
Shit.
Attitude.
Wait a minute.
We could be here all day. Wait, no, this is for him to answer.
Eye contact.
No, it's for him.
Returning texts.
Wow.
Your Billy Bob Thornton impression.
Yes.
Dinner secrets.
Time management.
What do we just
I'm
hit
fine
7
with
there?
all of those things. I'd like a little less hair on my shoulders. Yeah, and I wish that my toe and fingernails didn't grow, but I guess that's a universal human thing.
It's just gonna happen.
I feel like we should have invented.
That'll happen after you're dead.
I wish that the hair on my legs didn't stop just short of my ankles.
That was because you were abducted by aliens. That's what you told me, like in 1997.
All right, well,
Were you?
I think it's because I wore my socks too much when I was a kid. I don't know.
No, you said I was abducted by aliens, and that's why the hair on your legs doesn't go all the way up to your kneecaps.
Well, which one is it, Harmon? Socks or aliens?
Which one?
I don't remember that conversation. Maybe I was defending myself against a new adult friend who was inquiring about my body hair. I don't know. I don't remember.
It was 1997. We've known each other since 91.
I thought this was from dinner the other night. Last night, tonight.
Well, back then in the late 90s, we were getting into alien abduction mythology because we were trying to write a screenplay about alien abductions and things. And I was researching a lot of it, so I was starting to think about my frequent nosebleeds and maybe body hair patterns because they were being mirrored in the testimonials in the book. I no longer believe that. I think it's probably... how's your guys' body hair?
I think I have more body hair than you do.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
But you guys must text each other you must
how's
have
your body hair
and go,
doing?
and go like, do you have that thing with your nipple? Like, do you
Yeah.
or...
I got a lot of hair. We don't text each other.
I can grow a beard like in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So that's.
I really want to know. Do you guys actually like sexually? Do you exchange
Measure our
thoughts?
dick?
So hot.
Do you
Twins.
Do you?
So fucking hot.
No, that's
Do you get that a lot? Oh man, twins.
And twins.
And twins. So hot.
If one of you experiences something, if one of
So
you
hot.
were try a cock ring or accidentally twist both your nipples while you were orgasming, or you put on a pantyhose over your face and swung from the ceiling fan, and then you cum your brains out, do you text the other one and go have you tried this? 'Cause Because you might be into it
You
because
might
you're
love it.
genetically identical. to
I've
me.
cracked the code. We haven't yet,
No,
but maybe we
haven't.
should start.
All those things you suggested, I just made a mental note.
I was like, maybe. Yeah.
It's possible all those things are things people do because they don't have twin brothers. So you guys have like maybe we're all more darker and private and we're a little more suffocated in our cocoons.
Right.
And you guys are just get to be more mainstream. Like you just lay the pipe missionary style and roll over and smoke a cigarette. And
That's right.
No conversation needed.
Right.
Tell us about your podcast.
Oh, shit.
What?
Oh,
Jesus.
oh, shit.
Someone take that tiny bottle of wine away from him. Oh, God.
Rob Schrab, sponsored by Fernet Branca.
Our
Fernet
podcast is all about us sharing sexual proclivities.
Yes, with each other.
It's Dumb People Town. It's like it's all those. It's the most of.
I
those-
wasn't asking you, Dan.
Oh, but I like to hear him talk about it. No, it's just us breaking down 3 insane stories and going super deep. And the stories...
Story number 1.
Story number 1. High voices. No. It's 3 crazy stories from the news that we get from our listeners, actually. And then us and Dan Van Kirk, our co-host, along with the guest, we just start riffing. And the stories are just comedy launching pads, and we just go. It's kind of like a writer's room before you get down to the actual writing. So it's
How
fun.
much Florida is in there?
There's a lot of Florida. I mean, we know so much about it from the first line of like this person, like everyone, like we can guess the age of people by their behavior now because we've done a bunch of them. Like usually, I know when someone looks like they're 50 but they're 33.
Yeah.
Like I can tell that from the whole story.
How old is Dan?
33.
33 years old.
Dan, you're probably just...
Yeah, that's about right.
I think you're around our age, slightly older than us. But.
What was that? What was that drug in Florida? What was it? Yucca, Flucca, Fuca?
Waka Flocka.
Rock-
Flocka Flame.
Flocka?
I think that's a rapper. But, yeah, no, there's always, like, scissorp and, like, this...
Scissorp?
You know,
It's like
scissorp.
the drugs are like going through what Silicon Valley is going through. Like we have to come up with a word
Right.
that no one's squatted on the domain for. So someone's looking for our drug. We don't want them to go to fucking
Bingle tots.
No, yeah.
taken.
It's insane.
Has that been taken?
No, but we had a story about a guy on a date who, I think this was in Florida, where he was trying to impress his date and jump over, like, from one building to the next, and he didn't make it and slid all the way down between the 2 buildings
They got closer as it got down.
because they weren't built properly, and he got
just
stuck.
stuck, and the fire department had to come
And they had
in.
to bust the wall down of a Chipotle to get him
How
out.
did the buildings get close? Is it in Tim Burton's? Afterlife?
Tried to
What-
jump the leaning tower of
Are you
Pisa.
ready
for the distance between the 2 buildings?
Yeah.
A foot and a half. Like, how long? Who misses that and
It was
falls
like
in?
this.
So he wasn't.
Who goes? Hey, babe, check this out. I'm gonna jump a foot and a half. What?
I got this.
Call the fire department! Call the fire department!
And he's like,
All right.
Call the fire department! Call the Chipotle! I'm stuck.
they punch through the wall, they get him out, and he probably just looked at her and was like, "So can I
He
call
must
you
have been
again?"
like tapping.
What if
Hey,
what if they
I know
punched
you're
through
gonna punch through the wall, but could I get like a number 5 and some chips?
What if they punched through the wall and it was the wall of the one of the 2 buildings was a bank and he bolted through and took all the money and ran away?
That would be the
it was
greatest-
like the biggest like
The greatest heist ever.
the Thomas Crown affair.
It's
but-
called the Tinder heist of 2016.
I mean, I feel bad for that guy because number one, he's not doing something stupid in the beginning. It's a foot and a half, so
Yeah.
so he's as dumb as any of us.
I got it.
He's just very unlucky.
I just want the audio for. Hey, baby, let me show you something.
Just fingernails coming down.
right down the bridge.
How long of a fall was it? Like a couple.
It was a few stories. I know it wasn't like only a one story. And you're just magic.
So stories like that.
Fire department. The buildings are too close together. Call the fire department. My foot's stuck.
What is the appeal to us? Is it the same as like watching Intervention or Hoarders or something like that, where we just want to look down and not see rock bottom? We want to see another person.
I think you feel yes. Yes.
We must see the top of one person's head at least before rock bottom.
Yes.
I think you feel better about yourself, but just to know, and sometimes we try and justify everything that someone does in this situation. I mean, always like the best move whenever.
Which is a healthy exercise. I mean,
right, totally.
Like trying to figure out. I mean.
The humanity of someone like
someone who shits
I guess
in a
I've
pool.
had a day like that.
Someone who shits in a pool and then goes into the house and goes into the bed and sleeps with the 6-year-old. Hey, let's get into it. Let's try to figure out what positive thing. First of all, have you ever taken a shit that just makes you tired? All right, we've all been there. You walk out of there, you're like, did I just do a 3K or something? I have no electrolytes anymore after that shit. I need to lay down.
When you say sleep with a 6-year-old, do you mean
No, not have sex. Just actually, literally, just go to bed
Robert
in
Downey
her bed.
Jr. just took a nap.
Yeah, just took a nap, lay down
next
in
to
a bed.
different family's child.
And then the And then the parents protected him from the cops.
The cops came and it's like, is someone in here? And
They're like, no, we're all right. Like they were
Down.
some reason protecting this guy.
We care about this person more. I remember
Why did the cops come though?
because they reported a naked man with a machete.
Oh, then they figured
who
it
was
out.
pooping in their pool. Yeah.
Machete. You left out the machete.
Sorry,
How
he had a
big was this
machete.
shit?
It is
Yeah.
Florida.
It
is
is
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, it was Florida.
No, but I remember back, like, just the parents not wanting to, like, involve this.
Right.
I don't know what they were trying to do. They're like, we can handle this on our own. We don't trust the cops or whatever.
Well, you can't discount human empathy. I mean, they looked into his eyes when he woke up, and were just like, he's a human being. And then they looked into the cops' eyes when the cops showed up, and they were like, this guy's dead.
Yeah, no
Like,
human.
But
If you shit in my pool,
Think,
if you shit in my pool, no.
that's the thing.
Fuck out.
I like to think that it's like they didn't know about the turd in the
Yeah,
pool
exactly.
when they were sticking up for the cops.
us.
They're like, why'd you bring that motherfucker out here? We're gonna take him away. All right, Billy Bob, just take it easy for a second. We're this country has room for error and
Yes.
things. Honey, there's a turd in our pool.
Get him out. He's right over there.
Or the cops left, and then they're like, would you like some lemonade? Would you like some breakfast? Would you like to go for a swim? No, thank you. Wait, what is that? Did you shit in our pool? No, I didn't. So are you telling me on the same night we met you, someone else took a shit in our pool?
The same night. I would imagine a shit in the pool is probably a lot like a water birth. You know what I mean?
Like it's not. We all picture the Caddyshack bit with the floating.
Yeah, no, but I mean, for the
pristine log.
person doing the shitting, like, you're never immersed fully in water. Take a shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Speak for
probably
yourself.
Oh, all right, Brandon.
Oh, you're
I
talking
don't know
about,
Brandon's
you're talking about
photo.
the ease of the end user
Yes,
experience.
So he was in the pool then? He was in the pool?
I think he was in the pool.
so he
when
got
did-
into this bed wet?
Yeah, well, he probably dried off. I'm sure.
so-
I mean, he's not an animal.
Yeah, I mean, this is.
He has common sense.
Yeah, he's.
Thank you.
Considerate person.
Fair. Stupid question, I'm sure.
All right. Well, that's probably your favorite so far. Right?
Well, no,
So far, a couple
that
episodes.
is very run of the mill for the stories that we get and we get a chance to talk about. But it's a good fun time and we love doing it. So.
Where are you guys from?
From St. Louis. All three of us.
All three of us.
Yeah.
St.
you.
Louis. For some reason, I thought you were from Chicago, Brandon. I don't know. I guess
I lived in Chicago for a little bit, but St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Little town
Good
called
old
University
St.
City.
Lou.
Good old St. Louis.
Good old Louis.
Yeah.
Good old provincial St.
Old
Louis.
Twin
Yeah.
Tupi.
We all three escaped.
Yes.
Gateway to the West.
Yes. They're like, that's the courthouse, the old courthouse. And we're like, why is that place famous? The Dred Scott case. Oh, the case where you could go back up north and get your slaves and bring them back down south. That's why it's famous? Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's great. Horrible. Horrifying.
Really proud to be here.
Yeah. It's
What
great.
was who's St. Louis in the Bible? Like what did Louis do? That was so great.
I think it was the patron saint of acid wash.
I rocked.
He was the first dude to rock the STLB.
Yeah.
He refused
With
to
St.
take
Louis
off
in the name.
You know what, dude? I love growing up in St. Louis. I will say this. I don't know how you feel about that, but I just feel like it did connect us with like people that we probably would not have met had we grown up out here. Like we were just
but it did connect. It did
the
give us
types of people.
Yes, that is also true.
The guy who when we worked at a snack bar at a pool when we were 14 years old. And the guy who brought us the ice was this tall, thin guy. Best name, Keith Longinette.
fucking great name.
I hope he fucking listens to this. Keith Longinette.
No, he's dead. He's
Oh, yeah.
probably
Yeah,
dead
yeah.
by now.
The Longinette family was brutally massacred.
Oh shit!
By a man with a
at a
machete
Ted
who shit in their
Drew's.
pool. Yeah.
Keith Longinette claimed to us that, and there is no proof of this, but we had to just agree with him that he kicked the longest field goal in Missouri State Class 5A high school football history.
And just told us every time he saw
Dropped
us
the
that
ice
that's
off.
what he did.
That to me is like that. I don't think people hold on to shit out here like that. That is just an unbelievable credit and an unbelievable thing.
There's an amazing book by Jonathan Franzen that he wrote before the corrections called The 27th City. I don't know if you read that. It's about St. Louis. It's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Are you just saying that?
Yes.
Okay. It's an incredible
it
book.
pretty much nails the city in every way, shape, or form. But I actually say I do love that. Did you like growing up there? You probably didn't.
I liked growing up in U City. I didn't like St. Louis.
Right.
So U City was like
pretty racist.
Yeah, it's pretty racist. But U City was like mostly Jewish, a lot of black families, a lot of multiracial families, tons of culture. It's the city that they recently vandalized. When you see in the national news that they turned over.
That cemetery.
Our
Is that St. Louis?
Yeah, our family is buried in that cemetery.
So that part was dope because it was great to grow up with like another culture. But the rest of St. Louis.
I thought you were saying the part that our family was in the cemetery that was vandalized was
That
dope.
part was dope because you guys don't really make the news.
Right?
That part was dope.
I was like, how dope is that shit,
on,
right?
Right. There had been a black cemetery, but they used it. They put an airport over it.
Yeah.
It did not make the news like this shit
That's
did,
right,
but still, it was dope that your people.
Thank you.
Got kicked
that's,
over.
You know,
Get on the map.
Shana
Thanks, man.
It's a very twisted relationship that this country has with. I'm not going to blow your mind with this. With Judaism, with it's like conservatives love the fuck out of Israel.
It's
They
unreal.
can't get enough Israel because they think of it as like a football team. Like we love Israel. We love Israel's like this great, like amazing, like
the Alabama Crimson Tide.
yeah,
like they're
don't
just
fuck with Israel. And they're and anyone that's like chest puffed up and patriotic is kind of right to think that way, I guess, because
they have
they're
great
like,
recruiting.
I mean, they're a fucking like
The colors are great.
but
Blue and the white.
Cheerleaders are
how
amazing.
did those people reconcile their fucking blatant anti-Semitism? I mean, they really
Go ahead, Jay.
don't
You can
like-
talk deeply about this.
what? How?
I don't know. You just know people close to you.
Yeah, I there are people in my family. I'm not going to call them out, but that my family, not Randy's family, that are conservative and because of Israel. And I just want to be like, it's not like if anyone else is there, they're not going to shit on Israel. They might call Israel on some stuff, but they're not going to shit on Israel. Israel's like a good restaurant in like a weird, rough neighborhood. All right, they're not. The city's not going to suddenly come in and be like, close this shit down. We need it. It's good. It's like there's a lot of good that comes out of it. So it's a very odd relationship because that happens. I think there's no way. Desecration of a Jewish cemetery has not happened even in the Bush administration. I think it's completely because. Sorry, I didn't mean to derail this on something.
And by the way,
No,
Jay,
this is the
Jay
part
made
of the
a
show where we
But
go
no, but
there.
I do think it's because Trump is like, oh, Steve Bannon, come on in, and so now anyone who has like aligned feelings like that, they don't feel like there's going to be any consequences for what they're doing. So now, like more and more Jewish community centers are being threatened. More and more, the cemeteries.
Dude, Steve Bannon scares the fuck out of me. I'll be like about to pick my daughter up from ballet, and I'm standing outside the Jewish Community Center in Silver Lake where she takes ballet, and I'll just be in the parking lot, and like people are picking up their kids, and my wife will call me and be like, "Did you hear what Steve Bannon did?" I'm like, "No, what the fuck did Steve Bannon do?" All right, I'm in the parking lot. I'm like, Paisley, what the fuck did Steve Bannon do, hon? It's like, no, he thinks there's going to be, this is like the fourth revolution, and he wants a fucking civil war, and he wants everyone to fucking kill each other. So I don't know how he's going to make
I'm
money.
goddamn terrified, and I'm
He's
a
terrified.
wasp. I'm a goy, whatever you call me. I'm a fucking whatever. whatever I am. I'm a blob, a fucking
White. You're just white.
White person. Because every time, I've boiled it down now. I'm focusing on my own emotional reactions.
Yeah.
Like I bought a gun for the 10-day waiting period, and I haven't picked it up yet.
You haven't picked it up yet. So it's still
don't
there.
Get distracted by that.
So it's like Dylan's Nobel
Don't
Prize.
get
But
distracted
then I left it there. But yesterday, I was like, I'm gonna go pick
get
it up.
distracted.
The article I read that made me want to go pick it up was they barred the CNN from the thing.
I know.
For me, it's about First Amendment because I perceive Steve Bannon and that whole plan. I don't know what those guys, the Nazi part of Trump, and there's a huge Nazi part of him. He's descended from fucking
His
shit.
brother in the fucking...
Those guys are the only fortunate thing is that they're not upgrading their playbook. They didn't update it for the internet. It includes. I look at all this First Amendment stuff every time there's talk about laws against protesting. God
That's right.
fucking damn
I'm
it!
sorry.
Jesus
I'm sorry.
Christ.
I'm sorry. I didn't put it on silent.
What?
I'm sorry.
Whoa.
Please continue.
That ringtone does not match your voice at all. Just really delicate wind chimes.
Didn't he just tell you he has a gun?
He has not picked it up. Dan, what are the other 3 errands you're going to do around the gun pickup?
I don't
just
know.
want to
That's
know.
the thing.
Got to go to Trader Joe's. I got to drop off this box at Box Brothers.
It's hard to go pick up your gun.
Go pick up a gun.
I'm finding out.
You got to get some porn, too, just to balance that shit out.
I'm using it to measure what I'm feeling and when and what my triggers are, what's going on with me, because we're all finding out, like, okay, we need to take this seriously, how our perspectives are different, how our neurologies are different. For me, every time this First Amendment stuff comes up, particularly this idea of the press as the enemy and all this stuff, I perceive it as those guys, like that's the velociraptors testing the fucking electric cages, because they're just piling up. The zombies piling up against the shopping mall doors in Dawn of the Dead. Like if they could get thicker and push it down, they would.
Yep.
They because there's a Nazi playbook and there's a fascist playbook. There's
Get
a
rid of the
totalitarian
media.
playbook.
Get rid of the media.
You can't go any further. You cannot continue past.
Well, they'll get rid of the media whether they can or not by saying this is alternative facts. This is not truth, and there are people in this country.
Fake news.
There are people in the country who believe it's
those things.
yes,
the Lugan
it's
press.
fake
it's
news.
news.
Yeah,
Look, it's a
Lugan
direct
press.
fucking
It's straight out of the Hitler
English
playbook.
translation of fucking Nazi terminology. It's like that's what they do. If in the 30s it took 6 guys and a pair of boots to go shut down the media. You tipped over a fucking press and you set fire to a building. They're doing the equivalent of that, and that makes me. It's their intent. You know, like when a kid hits you in the nuts as hard as he can with a Nerf bat, and you're like, it's disturbing to you. It's like it's separate from whether or not it hurt. It's like the kid thought that he was gonna fucking hit your nuts as hard as he could with what he thinks is the biggest weapon he has in his hand, and there's an offense there where you go, nephew, cousin, whoever you
son,
are,
yeah.
so the fuck nuts. Like wait, you don't do that. Those are my nuts, and that's a bat. Yeah. And it doesn't really matter how clownishly ineffective they've been. It's the fact that what they would have, when you see their intent, when you look into their dead eyes and see what they would see the future be, when you see, that's why these policies are important, because like they don't fucking care. Another parent told me that the other day that Trump was on the TV and their like 2-year-old kid pointed and went, Trump. Like with this just sad, like the same way you would, like because he's like Grimace from McDonaldland or the Hamburglar, it's like the kids are learning the mythology. He's not a good guy.
My kids hate it. I mean, there's just hatred. There's just
it's 9/11. No, it's not. It's
Not by
9/10.
our clock.
We go by a really specific clock here. Anyways, whatever. But I was uplifted. I mean, there is this. It's not a silver lining. It's not like, and I know that 2 years from now, 4
what
years
is the
from now,
silver lining? What is the silver lining?
The silver lining with any crisis is always that it's
like a forest fire
It's
and
like
your
the
shit'll
silver
grow.
lining with a zit getting so fucking gigantic that you can't ignore it. The silver lining is that it's ready to burst. It's when those graveyards got desecrated. One of the things that I saw was a
Muslim group
saying like, hey, can we get to like, it's it's this shit coming out into the open, like where the funny, smart, progressive, decent people have nothing to fear in the light, and only the bad people will continue to be more and more recognizable because they will continue to advocate for shadow and darkness. They will continue to say everything should be secret, everything there should be boundaries, there should be borders, there should be all these things, and that could be a really healthy thing for admittedly a side of the political spectrum that in times of peace and prosperity did nothing but someone brought their chihuahua, and that's
hey, just sat on a duck. That's fine. That's good. Wait, you don't think the silver lining is that everyone who voted for Trump, who believed that their life was going to get better, their life, because he doesn't give a shit about them, gets so much worse? And they lose their health care, and they see that there is no
they lose
way,
their money,
and they see there's no way out but to commit suicide. That entire half the electorate dies, and then we lose those fucking people voting in the next election. Booyah!
That's called natural levelers. That's human gerrymandering.
That's right. We draw a different.
Wait, did you see recently? We talked about this on our other podcast that Arnold Schwarzenegger, just in a random tweet, did you see this?
No.
That he was like, it's amazing that like when Congress is less popular than like
herpes,
and Nickelback, like he dragged Nickelback.
And Nickelback was like,
whoa, you don't fuck with you fuck with the nickel, you get the back, bitch. And they came back so hard on him, and they tweeted back at him like, "Leave us out of your stuff," and they went after him, and then he apologized like immediately.
Look, I was going for unity.
Totally, and I was like, "Wait, I thought you were supposed to be a tough guy. You're a tough Republican.
Yeah, come on, man.
What the fuck, dude?"
That was a strange situation because I saw that video and I thought it was a really important primer or alert to the concept of gerrymandering, which we don't talk enough about.
Totally.
But it was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know.
I didn't retweet it because it was too. I didn't want to deal with the. I don't want to feel like some.
Come on, Dad. Let's go motorcycle riding in Malibu.
You
can retweet some more of my stuff.
Woman groping Republican sellout.
Also, as a Republican, the first people he went after in California were the nurses and the teachers unions.
Yeah, he's just another glory hound. So it would have distracted from the message, but it was a good message. Like we need to talk about gerrymandering.
Yeah, I agree, and I love that Nickelback though came back at him. To me, if that was Hoobastank, they just would have retweeted it. They're like, "Hey, fuck, we're in a tweet. Good for us."
Maria said I should have gone to Hoobastank. God fucking damn it!
Just to hear him say Hoobastank.
Only in the App Store. Only in the App Store. Only in the App Store.
What if Billy Bob and Arnold just tweeted to each other?
I think it would go a little something like this.
Would you ask Tom Petty what was in the App Store? I would ask him only what's in the App Store.
That would be it.
But it just goes to like, remember that video? Do you remember the video after Trump, Trump at the prayer breakfast was like, well, and you should pray for Schwarzenegger's ratings, and then and then Schwarzenegger released this video going like, hey Donald, how about this? And it was like the swirling things that go through your head are like, well, first of all, okay, so now we're just the WCW or whatever.
Yes.
Like, it's like are these guys all
with
playing
worse actors?
Like the only thing missing is Mean Gene Green, going like this between them. Is that what they want? But then the other thing you go is like, God damn it! Now I love Arnold again because it's like that like charisma and empathy and just faces and heads on screens is what we're so subject to, and that is the whole problem. We got to get away from that.
He groped at your heartstrings.
He courted them in an elevator and
exactly.
And took a Tic Tac
and now he's paying for the baby that the two of you made.
Though there's too many. That's all we found. Like we're primates, so we look at each other, and sometimes the different people have different effects on us, and we gotta outgrow that. I'm a writer. I know all about like the need for heroes that we have, but that's a biological impulse. So is taking a shit. We do that in a toilet. When we elect our leaders, we need to like overcome our urges, and our urges are for like barrel-chested leaders who are smarter and more capable than us, and who are John Wayne this and all this stuff. And like the Democrats need to lead the charge, I think, on just being like, this is not a human concept. This is not an individualistic concept. The idea of leading 300 million people. And then by proxy, 8 billion people.
I think Alec Baldwin should be our next person, and he
well,
should
that
just
kind of
go
flies in the face of my theory.
Well, I know, and yet it's the only way. It's the only way to go.
But
just
it's almost like in the wake of our, like the old European countries that do still have, like England. It's like they have the
although
royal
they
family.
fucked up the Brexit, they really did.
We should have this popularity contest where we have a symbolic leader of this guy's shaking his head. So, oh, you must be British, right?
No, you say we already have it. It's the Kardashians.
You seem that concerned that if no one argues with me, we're going to revert to monarchy.
Touch the motherfucker, man.
Yeah,
it's a bad impulse. It's a bad impulse. Like the idea of a monarchy being necessary. It's a
well, okay, of course, but not a monarchy.
Not a monarchy.
It wouldn't be a necessary monarchy. It would be a symbolic one. The king and the queen is
they don't
not
do
necessary
anything.
No, they are though. Fuck that.
They satiate an urge
They
people
are.
have to go visit a museum and look at a fancy hat and say, "Oh, we're the best."
She's running shit. There is this great, but seriously, there's this great thing where they hide it and they're like, oh, the queen doesn't have any power. She's got a ton of fucking power. Parliament doesn't convene unless she speaks. So don't trip. They're still in some crazy ass Mordor
All right, I want to
shit.
assure you guys, I was not tripping.
Nobody was tripping up there, brother.
Everybody want to say the queen is not complicit, but she's complicit.
By virtue of the fact that we would be adding one, it wouldn't be a powerful office. We would be adding
this
to the
is
office.
That's really
Totally
what we're supposed
adding.
to have already done. We're supposed to let elected representatives and officials do some of the grunt work, and we're supposed to take care of each other. We're in this position now because we keep trying to hire people to take us out of this position in a true American sense, where we're like, I want to send my congressman up there to get you health care. When the reality of the situation is, had we been together, none of this shit would happen in the first place. It's not Democrats or Republicans. This shit is on us.
That's true.
when did this become like?
Go ahead and applaud.
Yeah,
That's true, but it's also, isn't it like an American tradition and right, the idea that that's fucking grunt work. It's civil service. Like, go represent me on Capitol Hill. I have potatoes to farm.
But
I
they
have
really want to
children
do it.
raise.
When you talk to a congressman, when you talk to a politician, they actually really do give a fuck. Not all of them.
A lot of them
obviously,
do.
But a ton of them are like, hey man, my calling was building neighborhoods. My calling was figuring out a way for you not to have.
We need to put, like, maybe if each of us put 10% more of our day into the being represented part of representation.
I'm saying you could actually take your power back if you paid attention to what was going on just one block over. Just one block over. Don't have to become an alderman.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have to become the mayor of your city. But take the block to the left or take the block to the right. And if everybody on a block did that shit,
Yeah.
we'd be way better off than what we needed our elected representatives to do.
That
We'd
probably
be
is
way
a
better
good
off.
time to bring up this thing that we're like. You guys heard of this indivisible thing? We talked about it, I think, last week, maybe. But like, there's this thing online. It's kind of a guidebook for what we're talking. It includes that. The sad thing is that it's sort of taking a lot of pages from the Tea Party's playbook because it's observing the fact that. A small but passionate group of people that were filled with hatred and had their heart in the wrong place still managed political efficacy just by working on a local level. They showed up in droves at town halls and did this shit. So you can tell this indivisible playbook, and if you just Google it, like there's an audio book that's like an hour long that reads through it in your car. Don't listen to this episode. I give you permission to spend that hour listening to this thing. It just kind of
Whoa.
Don't listen to the second hour. The second hour.
Fine. Okay.
But it's like it basically just says that. I mean, it's like if there's not 20 people within a certain block radius of you that have started something, start it. And here's how you
We know
start
that's how
it. And here's what you
gentrification
do.
worked. Was that people called the cops once they moved to neighborhoods that had crime. people called their friends and had a visible presence in that neighborhood. So we know that it works for real estate prices. The same thing would work for each one of us trying to take care of one another.
It works for schools too. Both of us send our kids to public schools here, and one of the reasons why the public schools in our neighborhood are good is because the parents are fucking involved. It's that simple. That's it. That's the end of it. Teachers can only do so much. We have the same shitty classrooms and shitty chairs that every other school has in the city, but our parents go out in the community and raise a bunch of fucking money and put it in and be like, we don't want the music teacher one day a week. We got to raise this amount.
It's classist, but a great role model to begin with.
It is.
We're going to argue that charter, because people say charter schools.
Well, this isn't a charter. This is not charter. This is public.
Okay, it's a wonderful thing that we can all bring the most money to the picnic and then look over at the other side of the park and see motherfuckers starving.
True, but
I'm not knocking that. What we should have been doing was passing legislation so that all California schools got picked the fuck up.
Completely agree. Or tax weed.
And we know that. That's the thing.
We know
People aren't fucking with this. Fuck a Bannon. Bannon can't fuck you up now, really. The truth is, we kind of let ourselves down. They can't.
I think Bannon could really fuck it up.
Here's the bottom line. You know that churches, maybe you don't, but churches are already coming up with safe houses. Maybe we got to go back to the days of abolition where the Quakers had to hide the slaves, and we got to hide people who have come to this country. I don't say illegal. Maybe that's what we got to do, but goddamn, that's what we're about to do. You asked about the silver lining, and just real quick, the silver lining is that you all know how to
go
fight.
real slow.
You're getting there. You know how to start this fight. You know how. That's the silver lining. The silver lining is, instead of your $4 intelligentsia, now you go into these motherfucking meetings, kicking $3 down and make some posters and showing up. That's the silver lining. You get to become you now more than you've ever been you before.
Yeah, I mean...
That's the silver lining.
Now, a lot of you are moved by that, and I don't want to pull the wizard's curtain down, but Brandon, now pitch 1980s Manimal.
Let me tell you something about this film.
You
guys said to Hollywood, we want men, but we want animals. But we want to be able to find it. You understand? So don't confuse us with a name.
Don't be tripping.
We want it to be simple.
Yeah.
Manimal.
Boom.
Now,
there you go. Amen. The man is an animal.
He is just an effective speaker. That does not mean he's not telling the truth.
All of his ideas are
sell
bullshit.
You anything.
Everything he says
have you had a
ends
chance
in
to
applause
experience
break.
gonorrhea?
No, Brandon.
This is what I'm looking for, Dan. With these, this is all I want.
This is the voice you need.
This is the one.
Why can't Brandon be your voice coach? Are you? I have a question to you, and this I don't want to get too inside the business, but are you open to having your whole life ADR'd? You could have somebody we could loop your entire life.
Stand up in front and have Brandon do your ADR.
Go ahead. Just get up here. He doesn't even need a mic, but okay. That's just a prop, but okay.
Oh, it's a prop.
Okay, just give it to him.
This is working. If I speak slowly, my voice will be low.
Now I want to see, can we compound it? Here, Brandon, you use this mic.
Check, 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 check.
Check.
Check, check. Oh, God. Another day as a 19-year-old. I want to get some, but I'm not sure this is the hair for me.
How? Hey, Rob, how was her one-woman show?
It was pretty good.
So good. So pretty good.
You're not... Oh, well, wait a minute. That's not convincing, Rob. I'm thinking maybe I should skip it. Okay. Look at that.
That's a good signal.
Told you.
I can deal with that.
I
can deal with that.
Everything he does ends in an applause break.
Yeah. Wait, was it the monitors or something? It just, your voice sounded not altered by the thing. It wasn't like going lower.
I always carry a little bit of helium just for these moments.
You like offset it
in the jacket pocket. Just to keep you honest. I get it.
All right, look.
That felt good.
That looked
felt real
good.
good.
Right? Felt real
I look good, right? You listened to what I was saying,
you
right?
Look great.
A friend of mine.
Was it me?
His son is a
No.
younger lad. Don't really know his son's age, but he's pretty young, and like way before puberty, just like a little kid. And
9.
he was on the computer, and he was like the dad was like, What are you doing over there? And he's like, nothing, just playing this game. And he's like, okay. Then he kind of was wondering about it because he was extra quiet. And he took him and went and hung out with him or whatever. And then later he came back and he looked at the
history.
The
Check the history.
Which is, this is a new thing now. Like the way I learned about sex was like weird hustler pages in the mud next to a printing factory. And I don't think
Andy
people are talking
Kamenetsky's
about how
dad's
the
basement.
internet is like oh it's this awful thing. Well, it's one pipe of everything coming into your home. I think it's like, again, I was by a storm drain, like crouched over a crawdad river. Like I don't know how healthy that was. I don't know if my girlfriends are happy that that's how I saw my first naked lady. But but and YouTube's like very like. But anyway, so the kid he was just saying like he went through the search history and the kid had searched for the word vagina. VUCHINA.
Which we're not even talking to vagina anymore as a country.
It's a big issue.
And then also sexy ass.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotta look that up.
Yes.
And Rob Schraub's picture came up on that one. That is
sexy ass.
It's a very sexy ass. We know from just watching that bit.
Do you guys have kids? Are you at that threshold where they're like Googling stuff?
They're not, because I have 2 daughters, so I'm like fucking.
Oh, they'll be 19 before they're.
I mean, they're kind of they skew
just
younger.
Kidding. It's a stereotype.
Oh, jeez. Wow.
You guys are so quiet.
I like that they're.
Room turned on a dime.
No, I like that. I mean, look, I don't think we'll have an issue with that with them, but it is crazy just having grown up.
What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean you won't have an issue? I mean, how do you like?
I mean, I don't think I know my kid. I may, but I mean, for right now, they both kind of. I don't know. The older one, who's almost 12, kind of like skews younger. We got a little more time before we can. There'll be a point in time where she'll just.
So Paris Hilton, Mama said.
No, there'll be a point. There'll be a point in time where she'll just completely stop communicating with us, and then we just won't have to deal with it. So,
no, my son tonight was like he's 8. All right, he just turned 8, and he wanted to see the Karate Kid because he's been doing a lot of Taekwondo. And I was like, well, I have to.
Also, weirdest scene ever to show him the Pat Morita. If a cop showed up at Pat Morita's house when he was drunk, every single thing that he said, like real explanation of stuff that he was
would
doing,
make him sound like a
would
pedophile.
dig him into a deeper hole. He's drunk. What? I was just drunk with this 16-year-old kid. What?
I just was having him wash my cars in shorts.
I just gifted him a silk robe. What's the problem there?
What? I just took him on a boat and let him punch me in the stomach.
I put on a chest protector and I let him put. Cops, what are the problem here? So you wanted to show your son that?
I just
That's
gave
good.
him a car for nothing in
That's
return.
it, sure. There's no strings attached there.
But no, I was like, I haven't seen the movie in a really long time, and I was like, I have to watch this with you, and in case something's in it that I want to explain to you. Like, I was trying to be there for the whole movie, and I was, and there was dropped an S-bomb, they dropped a couple of other things, but the thing that he wanted me to leave the room on is when they started making out. He was like, Dad, get out of here. And I was like, do you need to see this alone? Like,
did he not think you were ready to see that?
I know that Mommy and I don't kiss anymore, but why are you...
Our favorite moment in the original
we've done stand-up on this, and now we're not going to bust into a bit, but the best line, and I saw it tonight, the best line is he makes up, Ralph Macchio, the Karate Kid, makes up, sorry, spoiler alert, makes up
it's not, yeah.
with Elizabeth Shue.
With Elizabeth Shue at the arcade, right? And they're hugging, they've just kissed. Dad, get out of here. I stayed. And he goes, so I guess you know about the big karate tournament tomorrow. And she's like, who doesn't? We're like, yeah.
It's a weird town.
Who in Southern California doesn't know about this obscure high school karate tournament.
It's also how they met. He met her on a beach by trying karate on
True,
her.
but I go out on a Saturday and there's like wall-to-wall traffic on the 405. I'm like, what bizarre junior high school jiu-jitsu exhibition is happening down in Long Beach to cause this much of a stack up
all
here?
exploitation movies have to
They
presuppose
gotta
that skateboarding
Who
is a little
has
bigger
it?
than.
Who has it?
Otherwise, they'd have to spend 20 minutes going, once upon a time, the society didn't think karate was important. They skip right to in a world where karate is important. But I will say, Elizabeth Shue, I think your kid has probably experienced, she's empirically
Oh my God!
mesmerizingly beautiful.
She's still beautiful. Hot. We got to do a scene with her in like CSI, whatever we did with her. She was still beautiful. And
Well,
the whole time.
you know, that movie, like that character coming on screen, it's like that launched 1,000 ships. I mean, it did. It was like it wasn't Ralph Macchio we were enamored with.
No.
We identified with him and waxed on and waxed off with him.
But waxed off to her. You waxed off to her.
Elizabeth Shue, and she
Yes.
was like that was the '80s at its fucking most perfect. It was like with the sweaters and the little barrette and the. All right.
Perfect.
When you watch that movie again, though, it's like she plays like 25 and he plays 14.
And meanwhile,
really
he was
weird.
22 when they did it, and everyone was like in high school.
But what do you But this is the thing, because this dad that told me about that story, he's like, oh, okay, he looks at the search history for China, and and I've heard this parents over and over and over again, all the stories, the stand-ups and things, telling stories like, oh, they're walking on their kids on YouTube, and they've Googled things and they're looking at things. And it's like this ambush where it's time to have this weird talk with your kid about, and all of these stories end with this sort of like, and so I said this and that, and sometimes the parent is the hero of the story because they said something so fucking weirdly, like navigating all these highway cones. But that's as good as it gets. It's like there is no healthy, like we have all of these like toxic ways. We have all these ways that we worry about our kids learning about sex. We don't have any ways that we look forward to it. We have demonized it.
I want it to be awkward. I want it to be as awkward as possible. Like as stand-ups, I think in life, or just as people who look at life and try and create, you want the most. If it goes really smoothly, that's great. Then your life is good.
But don't you think we need, as a society, to adopt some kind of standard?
I think we have the most fucked up attitudes towards death and loss, and like we're all fucked up.
It's all
with that.
DIY every step of the way. Wiping your ass, showering, like I didn't.
Everyone should have a bidet. I mean, but that's starting at another point. But like
controversial,
right?
controversial.
Guys, I'll lay that shit down. Hey. But I mean, I just think like we have there are a lot of things that need to be changed, but definitely the sex talk and the way we look at it. There are puritanical underpinnings, and when we grew up in St. Louis, I don't know if you felt it too. I felt like it was more constricted to the Bible. Like we go and spend time in cities like Denver, Seattle, San Francisco. The overall attitude of the people who live there, it's like way, way, way fucking more open about everything. Where we grew up in St. Louis, I feel like the puritanical underpinnings of sex made it something that is wrong and you should not do. And so you're or at least not talk about. Like, don't talk about
so
it.
if you were like the only black dude, it was rough because everybody would experiment with you puritanically.
That's right.
It's just taboo. So fucking taboo. Oh, how I miss the racism of sex.
Hey, this is the good side of prohibition. Everybody still got drunk.
I seem to remember we've had women up on this stage who have recounted.
Really?
It's true. A golden age of the podcast. I remember a young lady coming up and telling a story of how when she was in high school, she was sort of, it's a classic story in like the movies that we don't. She was branded a slut essentially, like because she was the participant in early experiences of other shitheads that then punished her for that. It's like it wasn't like she went out with a sandwich board and said, "Let's do this." She simply was the person that,
or maybe she fucking enjoyed it.
Did not. She came on this show and said she
did not enjoy it.
No,
okay.
she enjoyed it fine. She did not enjoy
the slut label. I'm not saying she enjoyed. Yeah, maybe she just enjoyed the experiences themselves, and she should be allowed to.
Yes, I mean you're not taking a brave stance there. We're all
no, Jesus. Women should enjoy sex, right? Am I right, ladies? Guys?
No.
I'm sorry, I jumped off the ship on this one.
They should be encouraged to enjoy sex. My wife should be encouraged to enjoy sex.
I'm saying that we all end up dealing with young people's sexuality over and over again because it does become a civic matter. It becomes a legal matter.
Yes.
If some kid didn't understand the difference between consent and not, and that becomes a criminal legal matter. It becomes all of our problem. So we're still living in this weird time when we're like, oh, let my kid learn about sex like however they want, and like, whoa, who would want some Obama panel telling you how to tell your kids about sex? But there's a tube coming into everyone's home. All of our kids are learning now from the same fucking aluminum hinged device that Steve Jobs designed. Like, it couldn't be more Orwellian the way our kids are learning about sex, except for one thing: they're not learning anything healthy.
No,
they're not learning. Like, they're not actually being told at any point the thing that they're most interested in from age 3 forward, which is where does this go and what's this for and what the fuck am I supposed to do and why does it feel good
Let me
when I
answer
climb a
that.
rope?
But also, they're not learning about intimacy either because there's none of that in any of the like videos that are online.
We get the same shit though. They're doing it to the adults as well. You know, they sort of took it from all of us, so it's hard for us to like give it back to our kids.
Because we're all fucked up too. Like
Right.
the way I learned, if I had a kid, I'd be like, "Listen, what are you doing Googling that? Go out by the river and hunt crawdad. Find a hustler dumpster."
I think there's a laptop laying by the creek over there. You
And
can get on that.
There's this thing that's like, are you looking at boobs and it's not attached to commercialism? Stop it.
Right.
But if it's
Yeah.
if it's attached to commercialism and you're about to buy something, then fuck yes, look at those boobs. It's called Victoria's Secret.
Yeah,
but,
you should be being like instrumentally like teased by Happy Meals about Hermione Granger. Like you should be doing this on the schedule.
Right.
That Disney deems it appropriate. You know, the slit in Eliza's skirt during Let It Go or whatever should be just high enough. It's like it's up to Pixar. It's up to Disney. It's
Right.
up to like
Coca-Cola.
when your kid gets his first hard on.
Yeah.
By the way, Eliza, not a character in Frozen. Just thought I'd.
But I know
share
she
that.
lets it go.
She does
and I know
let it
how
go.
high that slit
right
is.
up that fucking slit. Oh! All right, sorry. Why did I turn into dice?
If I had a kid, I'd know all their
You
names.
would know, and you should.
Elijah, Alusia, Elise.
What are the? It's Anna and Elsa, but whatever.
Anna and Elsa.
Sorry
from
that I know that
Hamilton.
shit. Yeah.
She should have made mystical pajamas.
She should.
If she's letting it go, she should have made comfortable flannel pajamas. In my world.
Yeah, they show up.
Letting it go to me is like putting on, like super comfortable. Like,
not just.
I'm just gonna eat shit now and not care if I'm letting it go.
I'm away.
How do you guys filter though for your kids? Like, how do you make sure they don't see any of that shit?
I mean, you got to be on top of what they're doing. You got to watch what they're
My
watching.
kids got into a really interesting discussion because they're super into Hamilton. They're fucking so into Hamilton, and I love that they're into Hamilton because it's amazing, and it is like we just bought the record.
Wait a second, Hamilton is amazing.
I'll take
Another
a
brave
stand,
stand.
bitches.
Wow.
No, it is like it's.
I don't understand trap music though.
Yeah, I know.
Love Hamilton, hate rap. Hate rap.
I mean, can we
Love
put an end?
Hamilton.
Can we put an end to that? It's all about the duel. No,
It's about history.
no, but they do love it. But the soundtrack and some of the later songs, they'll drop a motherfucker and they'll drop they drop some bad language. And my kids were telling me yesterday that they loved that we don't make a big deal out of the fact that we'll let them listen to that without being like you shouldn't do, because we aren't on top of them for that.
Did you say it's because we cool, motherfucker?
That's right.
That's how
Damn,
you drop your
bitches.
voice. That's how you drop your voice.
That's it.
Cool,
Okay,
motherfucker.
That's it. How would I say it if I were you?
$150.
Sounded like Carson there.
I know. I would love it if he was like, "Thank you very much."
That's very.
No, but they kind of had this weird discussion where they were like, they were really.
My
happy.
son was like that today when I was like, we heard some of the bad language, and he was like, I was like, why do you want me out of the room? He's like, because you're going to hear something bad and you're going to make me turn it off. I was like, I'm not going to make you turn it off, but I do, if we talk about it, we can talk about that word and when it's appropriate to
Right.
use it, when it's not. I'm like, you could actually some fucking douchebag kid, and there are douchebag kids all over. These 3 fucking kids are all right. So there are these douchebag kids in our neighborhood, and one of them got mad at my son and for some bullshit thing and yelled at him really loud. And my son came in the house, and I didn't think he knew. He was like, "That motherfucking piece of shit." And I was like, I was so proud in a weird way that he knew that. Well, here's why I was proud. I was like, oh my God, he knows these words, and he knows not to throw them around at school or in moments where it's not appropriate. And this was like, he was reaching for the worst thing he could say about someone, and then he had these in his cachet. And I was like, that's cool. I thought that was very cool.
So like, there is a way, I guess.
I was like, yeah, bitch, he does suck.
Yeah. But that's the way to, like, I guess that's this kind of example of, like, allowing them a little bit of control in this scenario.
Right.
Because I think going the other way where you're trying.
Parenting, you're going to do 80% wrong. You're going to feel like you're doing 80% of what you're doing wrong, even though you're trying to do everything right. All the time.
I'm not. I would never. It'd be really hypocritical of me to think. Some of it shouldn't be upon us. We have we have an alphabet. We have insulin. We have
an alphabet.
we have a food
Come on.
pyramid.
There's a stand.
We've got this
Step on that
alphabet,
soapbox.
people. Come
We have
on.
accepted civic, like
Yes.
externalized
Yes.
protocol that we go like this is how much body fat you're kind of supposed to have. It doesn't mean you
Just
have to
like
do anything.
the alphabet.
What a fucking dumb
I'm sorry.
piece of shit.
I'm sorry.
Fucking-
I'm sorry.
I'm
You
so-
can turn off my microphone.
I'm just
I'm
fucking
sorry.
hate
I know.
you.
I know. I hate me too.
I get excited to share something, and then
I
it's just
know,
like
I
right
know.
when I
Love it.
get
I
to the
know.
pit, and then it's your voice, and I just
know.
like
I know.
if it was
This
just
is why
a little
he's
lower.
going. This
If it
is
was
why
just
he's
lower. I
going.
just want it to be lower.
I know.
He gets it.
Like
When my voice
when
is lower,
Brandon
you'll
interrupts
love
me,
me
I'm like,
again.
yes, sir. I understand.
I get it.
Something
Oh,
about
God.
the length of the larynx. I don't know. Anyways, whatever. Teach your kids how to fuck right, I guess, is my theme. I don't know.
Also, your album. Teach your kids how to fuck right.
Yeah.
Teach your kids to fuck right.
That was my favorite Crosby, Stills, and
Didn't
Nash song.
Mr. T do that?
Teach
that Mr. T.
Teach your kids
just
to
to fuck right.
Teach him right. Teach him how to fuck right. Teach him right. Teach him how to fuck right. Teach him right. Teach him right. Teach him how to fuck right.
Is that the El DeBarge version of that song?
Mr.
My girlfriend, by the way,
Cody.
She yeah, thank you. We were talking about this on the way home from that party, or listening to our friends talk about the YouTube thing. She learned sex from a children's book that probably maybe hippies have, and maybe not everybody has, but if anybody in the audience remembers this
Richard
book.
Scarry.
It was
Cars, planes, and running a train.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, snap.
Thank you. Drop it.
but
Come on. Come on in here, honey. It's time.
Thank you.
Come on in here, honey. It's time to find Goldberg.
Goldberg. Goldberg
Did you
is
say Goldberg?
Goldberg is. That's what the Trump administration is going to do.
Root out
town by
every Goldberg.
town. Time to find Goldberg.
I broke the drawer on the podium.
The fictitious.
I tried
drawer.
to situate myself when I was leaning back too far. I pulled this drawer
Dude, that's
front off.
Rob, that's what you do to every situation. You break the door on that shit.
Yeah,
the drawer on that
I'm
shit.
sorry. I'm sorry.
Don't worry, it's just the luck of the drawer.
Just go into applause.
Luck of
He's
the
used
drawer.
to it. Just go into applause.
Claptrap.
He needs it, or
luck
else
of
he'll
the
keep
drawer.
going. Applause is how he knows when to stop.
It's
All
just
right,
a-
so just.
It's just the luck of the drawer.
I'm glad that happened after the planes, trains, and running a train thing.
That was good.
It's like, come on, that's just a dot. Okay, good. Cuts both ways. Good.
Hey, listen, it's about volume. Shots on goal. Shots on goal.
You make none of the shots you don't take.
My ex-wife, Erin McGathy, had the best zinger when I did a joke, and I can't remember what it was, but it fell in silence, and I said, they can't all be gems, and then a couple seconds paused, and she said, couldn't some of them be gems?
Then you
So
gotta
I
tip it.
divorced her.
Yeah. Rightfully so. Here's a gem for you. Serve those papers.
All right, vagina, Rob's voice coaching, skin conductance. My chiropractor has me take these reevals, and he makes me put my finger in this thing, and I looked at the computer while he was out of the room, and it's measuring heart rate, skin temperature, and skin conductance. Isn't that an E-meter?
Yeah.
Is my back a Scientologist?
Did he make you confess all your sins into a chafing dish?
I mean, he always he always shows me the next week. He goes like, "Oh, here's your reeval based on that." And then if it's like within things that are like look really healthy, he'll go, "By the way, have you smoked pot recently?" Which the answer is always yes.
Of course.
And then I'll be like, "I thought so." Pot really screws up the numbers, and it's like this is a religion. You're
making
just
up a
crack
number.
my back.
I think you should give it another year and then not go to him anymore.
He makes my back feel better.
Yeah.
But all chiropractors.
Yeah, he makes your back feel better, Dan.
They have to have this
What's
like
the
religion attached to their back cracking.
Yeah.
I feel
where
like
they're
you're-
did you know your back is part of the moon? Like because otherwise they'd just be like a fucking back doctor, and they don't want that.
Yeah.
Like they want to be like part of everything.
Yeah, I feel like he's really overstepping his bounds. Like has he asked you to pee in a cup at all? Any point in time? Well, no. How often do you go to the chiropractor?
Once a week.
That's too much.
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta spread it out.
No, the chiropractor is where you go when shit's really bad, and then you go to the guy, and then you get it fixed.
I got a real bad back.
All right. He's not helping.
He is helping.
Is he?
I was in chronic pain.
Okay, all right. I don't know.
Helping.
It's all fake.
He's trying to help you. He's trying to help you out, and you're making fun of him. You're giving shit to him. Making fun of this poor man who's trying to help you back.
You know, for someone who's taking voice classes, your voice is still so high.
I've only had one class.
One class.
You know, it's
One
about,
class.
You got to put in the work. He's not going to lower your
I did
voice.
it yesterday.
It's like what Brandon said. If we put in work as ourselves, don't put all the effort on him. It's like what he just fucking
I'm not the
said.
enemy here.
That's it. I can't believe he's not done with it yet.
That's been empty.
How is
for
there
an
still
hour?
half
Yeah.
a bottle? Half a bottle still left in there.
I'm nursing it.
He calls that a magnum. Why is that?
All right. Well,
One class.
maybe we should close with a "What have we learned?" rap.
All right.
We all look at Brandon.
What if we said no?
Shit.
Oh, shit. Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Yeah.
Which wall?
That was a sample.
Was I doing 80s beatbox?
Yeah, that was a sample to start off the rap.
It's
That's
like
what they do in the 80s. They make shit relevant, you know?
That is
It's like a
hilarious.
KRS-One political song.
I know. I love no MLK, no Malcolm, Reagan.
Well, let me start you off, Brandon. I'll lay you a beat down.
Oh shit. Oh, I heard him double up too. Did you just double up? Oh, doubled up. All right. Did we get a? All right. Here's what we learned. Matter of fact, you better get down and you can only earn being smart. Maybe under Trump, you get into trouble, but you softening lumps. I mean, you breaking them up, making sure niggas pay rent, making sure you getting money and the cash it gets spent on the dopest things that you can afford. But baby, boycott, don't give them the money, the shit they already got. Fuck that. Pay your taxes, but don't shop in malls. Matter of fact, you can shop in these balls. I'm kidding. Fuck it. I had to laugh. Motherfuckers looking around, but I signed autographs. We got these twins next to me. I'm finna pass this shit. These motherfuckers is finna get down relevant. I'm giving it to y'all, so don't you fucking quit. Come on, motherfuckers, try and make a fucking hit.
Tear down this wall.
Well, we talking about kids and we talking about families. We talking about his voice because it's so damn high. How was her one-woman show, young brother? How was her one-woman show, young brother?
It was all right. It was all right.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, that's it?
That's it.
Oh, that's it?
Why don't you take it on?
The Karate Kid knew that he had to do kicks and shit because he's like you and me. We got kids. We teach him what to do. We tell him what's on the internet and how to poo. We tell him who to be. We tell him who not to be. We say, fuck your kids right. And now you fuck right. That's who we are. That's what we do. I'm like you. I'm not like him, though. Oh!
Well, my name is Flo. Wait, what did you say? What? Talking at the same time, going. Well, I'm gonna do some flowing, and I'm throwing to rap without doing mama throwing. I'm on the beach, but I don't mean sand. Gonna fuck your mama so hard with my whole hand. Gonna take 4 fingers and my thumb. I'm gonna rock her up and down one by one with all my brain and all of my mind. I'm gonna take her into the war and throw her at a landmine. Iraq, and I roll your mama. Okay, all right. Well, let's end the show there. Then they applauded. The Sklar brothers, everybody. Brandon Johnson, Spencer Crittenden, and guest comptroller Rob Schrab. Zach McKeever in the back doing the audio, and Chris Baruff doing the cameras, and that's it. I don't know where we are next week. We've been moving back and forth between here and Starburns. We'll watch my Twitter or something to know where we are.
Watch his Twitter.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
What's the? We're traveling next week. Oh, next week we're in Oklahoma. We're not here. Okay, next week we're in Oklahoma. Go fuck yourself, I guess. You came here for the Oscars, but when push comes to shove, we bail on you. Did you get any of that?
It's a good show.